Okay, so welcome everybody to this week's call, and it's the last one for the year 2021. So my name's Jackie Boyle, and I get the pleasure each week of being able to introduce the esteemed Dr. Joseph Ahrens, who is a dual-nominated Nobel Prize scientist, and he comes with a lot of wealth, but also a lot of passion in being able to share what I believe are like the books of knowledge that we add to our library. And as I go through listening to him over the past 6 years, I'm constantly learning things all the time, because sometimes we hear but we don't listen, and sometimes it's not applicable to us at the time. So as we head into the festive season, and some of us have already started, we start to have all of these really nice choices of food that we're going to have, alcohol, sugary drinks and so forth, that we need to look at what is that going to be doing to our system, and how can we support our bodies as we go through it. So today is about Survival 101 with Dr. Ahrens. So how are you, my good friend, Dr. Ahrens?
Well, I'm just great. I'm just cheers to everyone. A little Bailey's and cream for the holidays. So yeah, look, this is as close as I can get to Christmas here. We don't have any Christmas trees, but this is the shirt I wear like once a year in the Bahamas. So here I am. I know everybody's, oh, I wish I could be in the hot Bahamas. Well, I invite everybody here. Just tell me when you're going to be here so I can leave. So, but I'm ready to go, Jackie. This is actually, we talk a lot about a lot of technical stuff, Emlyn 24/7, but I want to cover some basics this week. So whenever you're ready.
Well, I think, Dr. Ahrens, before you kick into gear, I really do want to thank everybody for joining us week in, week out. And I think without you guys being here, for the support that those are here with us today, and for those that watch it afterwards, we are so grateful for you turning up and supporting Dr. Ahrens and what he brings to the table. And the thing I think that I really love about you, Dr. Ahrens, is that you're real. I'm not going to say you're unreal, because then your head might swell, but you are real. So you do bring to the table a lot of passion. And having a Bailey's, there we go. See, it's not beer today, it's Bailey's. So we're going to talk about surviving through Christmas, and you're going to give us some hot tips on how we can manage to do that, to come out the other side where we see you all healthy in 2022. So I'll hand it over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Jackie. And yes, this is the last one of the year, because we get into the holidays. None of us have a lot of time to do these things. I also would like to thank everyone that is here day in and week out. Thank you very much. I recognize the guys who show up every time. And a lot of you guys say, well, I'm just tired of hearing this same old stuff. And but on the other hand, I went through some diets a couple of months ago, and then went through several different diets and gave some tips. And then again, somebody asked me some of the same questions. And even last week, I got asked another of the same question. So it does not hurt to repeat some things that are really important. So look, take down some notes. I know I don't always talk in a linear fashion. I go off to the right or the left. But let's get some notes here. So you're getting ready, and we are in the midst of the holiday season. You're going to be challenged with a lot of food that you should not eat. But, I'm going to eat it. When my Aunt Myrtle shows up with that pumpkin pie, what am I going to do? I'm going to have a little sliver of it, a little bit. And I don't want to hurt her feelings. Of course, that's what I say to everybody. Aunt Myrtle, Aunt Ethel, or Aunt Mary. Oh, okay, I'll try a little bit. First thing I know, I got a plate piled this high of everything that I should not eat. And I'm a bad boy. Okay, let's just admit it. I'm a bad boy. But you talked about I'm real. Well, one of the things I do recognize is we do not live in a perfect society, and we're going to have these challenges. And what are you going to do about it? Okay, let's go over some of the basics. Here's my strategy. because here I'm even going to start cooking myself for my family on this coming Monday. My job is the cook a goose and a standing rib roast. Well, that stuff's okay, you know, because that's pretty keto. It's low carb. Of course, if you're vegan, I'm sorry for you anyhow. But if those are good meals, but there's going to be all kind of other stuff. All right, here we come. Here we come. It's the night before Christmas with the thinking about the sugar, the figgy puddings and stuff. Come on. You need to try to, first of all, fill up with roughage, you know, with go out and eat grass in the yard. That would be one way, but come on, try to have as much salad as you can. I'm serious, I'm not joking anymore. If you're going to snack on that snack tray that's got the olives and the carrots and the broccoli and those things. Yeah, you're going to load it up with those dressings, ranch dressing, but get as much as that in you as possible. That will do two things. First of all, it will bulk your stomach up and you won't feel quite as hungry. Secondly, more importantly, for any food that comes later, it's going to make it difficult for your body to absorb a lot of those sweet sugars that you're going to be eating. I know you're going to eat it. Come on, admit it. So get that in your system first. It will help you reduce your appetite. It'll make you feel a little bit full, and it will help later on for you to take care of some of those sugars that you shouldn't be eating now, but I'm going to eat them too. Do that first. Secondly, fill up with protein. Whether you're going to have tofu or you're going to have ham or you're going to have turkey or going to have a goose or whatever, that's actually very good. Eat as much as you can of that. Fill up with those two things first. Those are tremendously important. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Take as much vegetables as you can. I'm not talking about the damn green bean casserole, which is loaded with all this flour and starch and sugar. Take as much salad. Get in there on that hors d'oeuvre tray. Eat up those sausages and those cheeses and those black olives and those pickles and those carrot sticks. Those are actually very good for you. And that roughage, that bulks you up and helps later when you do take in the sugars. It'll help your body resist taking them into your body all at one time. And then go for protein. Eat that turkey, eat that ham. You actually cannot eat too much of that. Fill up on it. So then you will take less of that sweet potato casserole. I don't know, Jackie, you've got those in Australia, but I got this one aunt that comes with this sweet potato casserole. And sweet potatoes are generally a really good thing to eat. They are rich in flavonoids. You know, they're colored. That's where flavonoids are, in the colored part. And actually in the original Latin, they're called flavonoids, not because it means flavor, but flavo meant color. So that's why they're named that. Anything that's got a lot of color in it, it's got a lot of flavonoids, and that's what is an emulant. But she brings this stuff, it's like baked to it falls apart. It's got maple syrup on it, brown sugar on it, it's topped with marshmallows, and it's enough to send anybody to a hospital. So I do take a lot of it, though, for someone just trying to be polite, you know. I take a lot of that stuff, give the marshmallows to the cat. But I eat my share of it. Then I eat that green bean casserole, which is also nothing more than disguised carbohydrates on top of a little tiny bit of green bean, which the green beans are good for you. Do that. I'm totally serious now. Your blood sugar levels would be 60% less than if you just jumped into the sweet stuff and the sauces and the candied this and that and the candied yams and all that stuff. Start with salads, fill up as much as you can on those appetizers, then go to the protein, and then go to all that stuff that is actually quite delicious, the 7-layer salads and the ambrosia and all that stuff. So why do I say that? Well, there's a really good reason, because what it's not just about calories. We're not talking about just the calories here. There's two things going on. First of all, it's when you take those calories and how fast. And I want to step back just a little bit. We've talked earlier about if you know you're going to have a big meal and it's going to be a lot of calories, that you ought to cut back and eat less before that. Yes, that works. But actually, the biggest problem is that spike in the sugars, the spike in the carbohydrates, which brings a spike in insulin. And I've reminded you before, insulin's job is not just to put sugar into cells. Insulin's primary job is to take excess sugar and put it into fat cells. Let's repeat that. Insulin's primary job is to take excess sugar and put it into fat cells. So if you have a lot of sugar, calories and sugars, carbohydrates, even if you only have a little bit, if you take it all at once, insulin will come on the scene and put that into fat tissue. Are you following me here? It won't just take that sugar and then eat it over several hours. If it shows up in high quantities, it will immediately take that sugar and put it into fat tissue. So you can take the same amount of calories, the same amount of carbs, and eat them a little bit over several hours, and those carbs will not go into fat tissue. They'll just be used up in normal metabolism. The reason this happens is that your body is geared to do that, because let's say a long time ago, you're hunter-gatherers and you're going along through the woods and you're eating a little bit of that. You find a little bit of wild blueberries, and then, you kill an animal, and all of a sudden you come across an ancient apple tree, crab apples. Man, you're going to gorge yourself on that. And what is the body thinking? Wow, here's a bunch of energy. Let's save that for later. So it sees that massive spike in blood sugar. It says, hey, we've got more than we need. And it takes it immediately and puts it into fat tissue. So let's repeat that. If you've got 1,000 calories available to you right in front of your face, and you take it all at once, it's going to go to fat. If you take it and just take that same amount of calories and dribble it into your body a little at a time, it won't go to fat. It'll just be burnt up in normal metabolism. So it's not just the amount of calories. These nutritionists, that the only thing to do is they read comic books. They read medical journals, and it says, okay, calories in, calories out. No, that is not the case. You take in calorie, but that your body puts those calories in different places, and they can use it for different processes. So you want those calories to go to your brain and to your muscle. You don't want them to go to fat tissue. But if you take 1,000 calories, which is like the half amount per person, normal day, and you have it all at once, your body puts it in the fat tissue for it. Let's keep this for later. Take it a little bit at a time, and it will use it up and put very little into fat tissue. So do those two things if you can. And I know you can't do it, but I have to say that because I'm a professional and they told me I had to say this stuff. If you can, eat those carbohydrates, which are anything sweet, all those desserts, all those Aunt Ethel's sweet potato casserole. Eat them a little at a time, not all at once. But start out, like I said, eat those vegetables, eat those green olives, eat those pickles, eat those carrot sticks, eat those broccoli, eat those cauliflower. They have my daughter used to call these a hoochie coochie plate because they didn't know how to say charcuterie. So they said, it's a hoochie plate, with all the little hors on it and sausages, salamis and stuff, cheeses. Man, you can eat that stuff. That's actually very good for you. It will not cause an increase in blood sugar. Eat that, fill up on them, then move on into the proteins, whether it's turkey, it's ham, or fish, whatever that happens to be. And then third, go in for those extra things, the things that should be classified as desserts, but they're not. They're Aunt Myrtle's green bean casserole. And when you do eat those sweets, take them a little bit of time. Hey, do you want a full piece of pumpkin pie? Come on, take a sliver of it and have it. Wait a little bit, maybe after coffee, have another sliver of it. That is so much better. You will absolutely know the differences in this. You will not, you won't wake up with a brain fog, and you'll not wake up is actually with as much pounds, because your body would have used a lot of those calories energetically and burning them up. You might raise your body temperature a little bit, but they won't go straight to fat. That is actually my strategy. And I probably fail at it just as much as you do, but at least it's a goal to attempt to accomplish. So did anybody learn anything here tonight? Let's just repeat that one more time, because I still have questions over this. It's not all about the amount of calories. All of us are going to eat too much. What can we do? You know, I keep mentioning Aunt Ethel, because when I was really young, if I didn't eat that pie, she would put me in a damn corner until I ate that pie. I was the only one that told her that we thought her pie sucked, but that's probably why I was in the corner. So you need to try to fill up with roughage, raw protein, raw products, and don't be bashful. You know, everybody says, oh, don't fill up on the appetizers. No, do it, unless it's toasted marshmallows. Fill up on those. It will reduce your appetite. Number 2, go to protein next. And don't take your plate like everybody does. I tell my family every year, don't pile a piece of everything on the plate, and then you've got a mountain here and you feel committed to eat it. There's nothing wrong with getting in the line and just taking a slice of turkey or slice of ham or one deviled egg, and go back and sit down and eat that while everybody else is going. You can just be polite and eat a little bit of it. Once you're through with that, then go back for the next course, which is these yucky vegetables. You will find a tremendous difference when you get on the scale the next morning. You'll find out instead of 15 pounds, you've only gained 8. And that's actually quite a big accomplishment. I also want to remind everybody, come on, move a little bit. Put the remote control and television across the room, so you at least have to get up and take those 20 steps to go get it. You know, I've heard so many stories of people that say, well, I would love to exercise, but if I walk, 7 meters, 20 feet, I'm dead. Okay, I understand that. But you know what you need to do? Walk 8 meters. That's all. Just walk 8 meters. And after a while, the 7 meters turns into the 8 meters, and it absolutely then will turn into 9 meters. And then the next thing you know, you actually walking 2 miles. It actually does work. And move as much as you can. Move. I actually have to set an alarm every day on my phone. Every hour, I have an alarm set to get up off the couch and walk, because I do all my stuff in my office is a couch, and I do everything right there. I got a little kind of a table thing. And if I'm not careful, I've been there 4 hours and I haven't moved. So I actually set an alarm. I said, hey, Alexa, set an alarm for 1 hour.
Hang on, Dr. Ahrens, is Alexa like a remote, or is that like a verbal thing that you talk and you don't have to move?
she said, and she's real smart. She says, in 1 hour, she said, Dr. Ahrens, get up your ass and walk. So I get up and at least walk to the refrigerator and get a beer and come back, And you got to move just a little bit, and move a little bit more each week. This will work. So Jackie, I know I've repeated myself, but apparently I have to repeat myself many times, because I still got questions about, give us some tips for the holiday eating. If you do that, yeah, you will have a piece of pumpkin pie, but it probably will be only half the size, and it will only be one piece. And, it's gluttony. What can I tell you? I love it.
So Dr. Ahrens, I've got a couple of questions in here, and I do love it. Like, it is the end of year, so we're all starting to relax and kick back. And so we are, this is a privilege of being able to, not many companies get access to the man behind a formula, and somebody like yourself that we are able to tap into, and you're able to then share the real you. And this is what we're getting today, is the real you. And we see parts of it. So you are real. And this is where it's really great to listen to you share. You're sitting back, you're having a Bailey's, and you're looking at what you have for Christmas. And I will just point out that Australia is not Antarctica, you know, like we are civilized people down here in Australia, just to let you know, like we are educated, just in case, because he does give us a bit of a sly kick every so often. So just put it in there. But I wanted to ask you, like we know, like from what you've said, like we have greens and salads to fill up and bulk up on your bulking foods to start with as we graze. And then your proteins like your hams and your chickens and your turkey and things. But then when we go into our sweets, that we graze so that we're not having a whole lot of it, so that our insulin can't process it more efficiently as to what, like, can't do its job effectively. But I want to ask you, there's a few things here, because I know people are probably going to ask the same things, because it's not what you say, it's what we hear. Water, like how does water play a role in throughout Christmas? Like, will that help people to help digest and process a little bit better? And also alcohol. That's they're the other two things I want to ask you.
Alcohol. I don't know anything about alcohol, Jackie. I have no idea what you're even talking about. I have no experience on alcohol. I have to ask my cousin. Hey, cousin Joe. Yes? What do you want to know? Alcohol actually does aid digestion. That's the truth, whether you like it or not. But let's go back to water. So everybody says you need to take 8 glasses of water a day. What does that mean? 250 mils, 12 ounces of water. But the truth is, you can take that water in any shape or form. I mean, I've looked at very recent studies. I mean, that's the truth. If you want to drink 8 beers a day, that counts for the 8 glasses of water. It's about the water in the beer. Beer is like 95% water. But I mean, you have to count for the alcohol. But I want to first say that you don't have to drink 8 glasses of water on top of whatever else you're drinking. If it's a liquid, it's mostly all water, and that will count. But you do have to drink enough water. You do need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. And you take them in alcohol, or if you take them in a fruit juice, that does count. So don't worry about that. My mother is one. No matter what she did, she'd drink like 2 or 3 glasses of apple cider, and then she'd also make sure she had 8 glasses of water. And I tried to tell her, look, that's just ridiculous. That's not what we're talking about. You have to have at least enough liquid. So look, you take a glass of water, and if you put, a couple of grams of something else in there, it's still a glass of water. So take 8 glasses of liquid. It could be milk, fruit juice, beer, wine. Of course, you take 8 glasses of wine, you're going to be pretty tanked. That leads to alcohol. Alcohol is always an aid to digestion. It stimulates a lot of the enzymes needed for digestion, of course, and too much of it, you could get inebriated. It starts out as a stimulant, but after a couple of ounces, a couple of grams of it, it ends up being a depressant. And it's up and down. That's how a lot of things are, even with water. A little bit is great, too much can actually kill you. Now, I didn't want to talk about amylin, but amylin actually helps process alcohol. And I say this with a little caution, because we have clients that actually order amylin just so they can drink alcohol. It will process it. It actually will keep you from being as inebriated. It doesn't prevent inebriation, but it helps your body process it out of you, because alcohol is very similar to a sugar. There's only one difference between alcohol and sugar, and that's 1 hydroxyl unit. So you might not know what that means, but let's just say it's almost the twin of sugar. So just like amylin will help you process sugars, amylin also helps you process alcohols out of your body. And we have some clients that order amylin just so it helps them with their either alcohol tolerance, they won't get as inebriated, or some people that have trouble with headaches and hangovers the next day, it will help prevent that. Of course, we can't put that on the internet. Hey, take Emlyn and you won't have a hangover. We actually did, though, have a clinical study with a local brewery here that was looking at putting Emlyn in their beer and say this product won't give you a hangover. But the Federal Trade Commission killed that project right away. But it will help you process alcohol. So, if you're worried about the effects of alcohol, either getting inebriated or if you're worried about hangovers, I will tell you, my own daughter, she takes red wine. She has a horrible hangover. I mean, just one glass. It's not about being drunk. She takes one glass of red wine. The next morning, she's just wiped out. She takes a couple of Emlyn before that. She has no issue whatsoever. So yes, Emlyn will help in that situation, but come on, don't ever overdo it. I can't tell anybody to overdo it. I don't know what overdo it means. Don't take more than 24 beers in 24 hours. That would be kind of overdoing it.
You're killing me. And again, it's real, because I guess what I want to ask you now, I'm going to get a little bit serious because I know people, not serious, but keeping it real again, Dr. Ahrens, is that we all are going to indulge. We're going to have those things we don't have on a daily basis because it is the Christmas and festive season. So we want to be able to kick back, relax, and enjoy those things that are traditional over Christmas we don't normally have. So I'm going to ask you in regards to, yes, I'm going to pull in Emlyn and 24/7 because should people actually increase, and when should they increase to get extra support to be able to help them to process? Should it be before they eat? Should it be after? Should it be before they go to bed? What are your suggestions here just to help people understand the benefits when we are overindulging to help process those refined carbs and sugar control in support and assistance without making any claims?
Well, if you were getting ready to go to a Christmas party, I would take 4 extra Emlyn before the party. I would take your normal dose of Emlyn every day as you do, but before the party, about 2 hours before, I would take 4 extra Emlyn. And then after the party, I'd take another 4. That is just based on evidence that somebody told me. I don't know who it was. But here's what happens with that. If you load up with Emlyn ahead of time, it will manage all those starches in your body, and it will prevent those from going directly into sugar in your body. Actually, if you take a lot of Emlyn before a meal, it can prevent up to 1/3 of those calories going into your bloodstream. 1/3. That's one of the things we first proved a long time ago. If you take it before you eat, and not too long, 1 to 2 hours before you eat, it will prevent about 1/3 of those calories from getting into your bloodstream. And those just will be eliminated out of your body. And then I take them afterwards because, I follow it like a chaser, because you don't just eat something and it go right through your system. It stays in the stomach for several hours and then moves forward downstream. So have the Emlyn in your body ahead of time, but also take your normal dose as you would every day, whenever you take it. And then afterwards, take another 4. That's how actually I would do. Now, 24/7, yeah, that's a good thing to be taken every day, and it slows down your appetite. But being very truthful, when you're at a party like that, it's not about your hunger. Oh, I want to eat. No, it's not about that. It's because you look with your eyes and you want to eat that stuff. It's not because you're hungry. That's really not the issue. So 24/7, everyone, I think they should take it. The only thing I would do extra is take 1 extra of the daytime and then before the meal, and then in the evening take the normal 2. But that 24/7 is formulated to help with your appetite, and you're really not. It's not an appetite issue when you're at a holiday festivity. No one goes in there and eats that stuff because they're hungry. They go in there because they want to have a good time and they want to taste the stuff, and it's not about appetite control. So that's my suggestion. Take extra inulin, take 4 of them if you've got them before you start. That'll help process all that food. It'll help process those carbohydrates. If you do take alcohol, it'll help process that alcohol out of your body. We actually had complaints one time when I first told about this, that we were giving people license to drink too much alcohol and eat too much dessert. I mean, that was actual complaint about us. It was on the airwaves. And no, I'm not saying that at all. It's the other way around. If you find that you're going to be in that situation, take the inulin to help you through that situation. 24/7, only take 1 extra capsule of the daytime. Don't take an extra capsule of the nighttime.
So Dr. Ahrens, Lisa's put in the chat, for those that can't actually swallow inulin and we're in the festive period, how would you suggest the easiest way of being able to take that? Would it be in a smoothie or something like that to be able to get the product into your body?
Because they can't take the capsules themselves?
They can't swallow them.
Well, that's actually what I do often when I have the opportunity. I take it all in a smoothie. In about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I make what I call a man shake, and I throw in milk. It's either real milk or almond milk and a banana or a mango. Throw in the vitamins that I'm taking. I personally take vitamin D and vitamin B12, and I throw in my inulin in that shake and blend it up. I got a shake bullet. I drink that. That's how I actually take my product. So yeah, that's the best way to do it.
So I think overall, when I look at this, like what you've gone through today, and it's been very informative, because I know each and every one of us are going to be doing exactly that. We're going to be sitting back, relaxing, enjoying, having all of those traditional foods that we wouldn't normally have. We are probably going to drink eggnog, or we're going to be having alcohol that we don't normally have. We may have more, we may have less, who knows? Generally, it's going to be more. Because why? Because it's fun, it's relaxing. It's good to be able to get there and kick back and just enjoy life. So what you've given to us today with the survival guide of 101, I will say we're not making any claims to cure, heal, and or mitigate. We're not giving you a license to eat more, drink more. Merely what you have given us, Dr. Ahrens, is tips to be able to help you manage your day more efficiently, so your body's going to thank you the next morning and after we get through Christmas and New Year. So is there anything else that you would like to add to today's call?
I just want to thank everybody for being here. We've been on this thing a long time. I don't know, a year or so. And thank everybody for showing up. You need to invite your friends. It's not just about an advertisement for inulin and 24/7 and Valentas. I want people to come here to get health tips for healthier living. You know, we have briefly touched on things like exercise. We're going to get more to that in the new year. We're going to talk about healthy lifestyles. I'd also like to debunk latest health myths that you've heard. They pop up on the internet every single week. You could ask me, what do you think about this? What do you think about intermittent fasting? What do you think about this type of exercise? I'll tell you the absolute truth based on physiology. That's who I am. I'm a physiologist. That's a study of the chemistry of life. And, you know, all these MDs running around and nutritionists, well, I've taught them. So maybe I can tell you what I think. I like to thank everybody for being here. I wish them a great holiday, New Year's Day celebration. And, you know, I'll be back here the first week of January.
And just to finish it off, Dr. Ahrens, I really do want to thank everybody. I want to put out 2 personal thank yous to 2 important gentlemen that are on this call that have helped us out, which is Dr. Ron Borsima Sr. Thank you so much, my friend, because you've helped us out and we really, truly appreciate you. So thank you, and Merry Christmas to you and yours over the Christmas period and holiday break. And also to a good friend of ours too, Todd Atkins. So he's filled in for us in the last couple of weeks when we needed it. So Todd, thank you so much for stepping up and helping out there too. And again, for all of those people that have been brave enough, and I do say that I get goosebumps, but have been brave enough to share their personal journeys throughout the year. I can't tell you how much of a big message that puts out to people, and by being able to share people's personal journeys. If you feel like that you're ready to do that, please reach out and let us know, because it's through other people's experiences that we're able to legally be able to share, that we can assist and support in managing symptoms and helping people as they go forward to have lifestyle choices and to tick off the bucket list that they may not have been able to. And there's many of us that are on here that have had the benefits of this, that have given us different choices in life that we may not have been able to do. So I want to thank you, Dr. Ahrens. Like, over the 6 years, you've become a very good friend of many of us. And what you provide to us, we can only thank you. And we wish you and your family the utmost of safest Christmases and the happiest. I know it's been a tough year for you. And we all send our love and best wishes to you and each and every one of you as well. So have a safe holiday, safe Christmas, and a happy one. And we'll see you in 2020 in the first week.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Dr.
Merry
Joe.
Christmas.
2022, Jackie.
Absolutely, pal. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Kendall. I do want to thank.
Everyone, happy holiday.
I should have thanked
Jim.
Kendell Grogan Smith too, because Kendall always
Yes.
does a transcript of all of these calls. So I'm so sorry, Kendall. We're still recording. So I want to put a big thank you out to Kendell Grogan Smith, because Kendall always does a transcript that we're able to actually share this to in a written presentation as well. So thank you so much thank you. So we really appreciate you too, Kendall, because you're amazing what you can provide to us that if we don't get onto the call. So have a great Christmas, everybody, and much love to you all. Thank you.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas,
Bye-bye.
Dr.
Night all.